turn on the lights, please, so I can take a better look at. Wow. Right, now. Everyone, smile. Say, Animal Farm. Animal Farm. There, prettiest picture. That's one for the history books. Now, I'm going to turn this one off, and I trust that you all do the same, because these animals back here, well, they're rather bashful creatures, and they might get scared when they hear the sound of a mobile phone go off. So please turn them off, so that we can all enjoy the show. There we go. Now, enjoy.
What's this? A bugger! Damn you stupid animals! Why couldn't that just be rich? We'd have to put up with all this shit! Oh well, that settles it. Time for bed.
Is he gone? I think so. We should call the others. It's time for old Major to speak. Hey, psst, he's gone. Come out, Jeanette. Come on, Boxer. Hurry up.
I'm coming, Grover. I've been working really hard today, now.
Forget about work. Old Major is going to speak.
Old Major, he's important, but work is pretty important too.
You will work yourself to that one day.
Ah, God give I will, Grover. God give I will.
Poolside, please. Let Snowball and myself sit in the front.
It's not that we're any better than you, dear friends. It's just that dear Napoleon here doesn't hear very well from his right ear. So he must sit in the front.
It's just important that we sit in the front, that's all.
Move side, friends. Make way for Napoleon and Snowball. All right, friends, sit down and let old Major speak. Comrades, I had a dream last night. I wish to tell you about this dream, but I want to talk about our lives first. Now, comrades, what kind of lives do we lead? Well, let's face it, our lives are miserable, laborious, and short. We're forced to work like slaves. We barely get any food. And finally, we are slaughtered with hideous cruelty. No animal, not one, knows happiness, freedom, or a full belly. Yet this farm produces in abundance. But it is taken, no, it is stolen and sold by Jones. To work on this farm could be less hard. But the lazy farmer hardly does any work himself. And we could live free and happy.
Sorry I'm late, but I needed to straighten up my ribbons first. Aren't they nice, these ribbons? I think they're pretty nice.
Boxer,
Do you like my ribbons?
Yes, Molly, thank you. They're marvelous. Now sit down and shut up, will you? Now, where was I? Yes, we could live a long and happy life with our children. But we're killed for our meat. You dogs here, when your teeth fall out, Jones will take you to the pond, tie a brick round your neck, and you will be drowned. You horses there, Boxer, when your muscles fail, Jones will sell you to the knacker for dog food. And you poor young porpoise, before the year is out, Jones will cut your throats and you will scream your lives out. And what happens to all the milk? And to the eggs? It disappears down the throats of human beings. Comrades, is it not crystal clear that all the misery in our lives is caused by men?
Yes, definitely.
What must we do then, comrade?
We must get rid of man as soon as possible, Muriel.
Swell, that's an idea. What do you say, Benjamin?
I tend not to say too much, if you please, Mario.
Surely, you must be excited to get rid of men.
Oh, I don't mind getting rid of men, not at all. But I can't be too excited about starting a rebellion.
It's right, we'll start a rebellion.
Yeah.
We must get rid of man as soon as possible. All men are enemies. All animals are friends. And remember, comrades, never to resemble man. No animal should ever live in a house, or sleep in a bed, or wear clothes, or drink alcohol, or smoke tobacco, or touch money, or engage in trade. All habits of man are evil. Now, comrades, I will tell you about my dream. It came to me as a song, but I'm old and my voice is wearing out. But Comrade Napoleon here, he knows the song, and he will sing it. Comrade, if you please.
We don't need no bully farmer. We don't need no whips and knives. No dark sarcasm in the stables. Farmer leave us beasts alone. Hey, farmer, leave us beasts alone. All in all, we only want to live life in hope. All in all, we only want to live life in hope. We don't need no bully farmer. We don't need no Hunger Games. No work for hours in the darkness. Farmer, leave us beasts alone. Hey, farmer, leave us beasts alone.
dead all right, that's for sure.
We should give him a proper burial. We owe that to him, certainly after that inspiring speech he gave last week.
I am starving. Me too. I want food. I think the farmer has forgotten about us. It's been 3 days. Hey, farmer! Where is our food? We're hungry. We want to eat. Don't forget about us. Do you hear us? Farmer! I'm hungry. We want food. Farmer!
What's all this? Shut up, you! Shut up! Shut up, I say! Okay.
Comrades, look at them go, running like a rabbit. The farm is ours.
I'm still hungry. Who's going to feed us now?
Don't worry about that, Mario. From now on, we are going to provide for ourselves. Now that the farmer is not stealing away our food, eggs, and milk, we have plenty for ourselves.
Sugar also. I love it when the master gave me sugar lumps. They taste so sweet.
Molly, we have no means of making sugar on this farm. Besides, you don't need sugar. You will have all the oats and hay you want.
How about work? I've always worked hard for the master, and I've enjoyed it too. Who am I going to work for now?
You work for your own benefit, Boxer. Fact is, we all will. And we will enjoy the fruit of our hard labor. No more parasite ants.
In that case, I will work even harder!
But who's going to put ribbons in my mane then? The master brought me the most
devoted to are the badge of slavery. Can you not see that liberty is worth more than some stupid ribbons?
Ribbons should be considered as clothes, which are the mark of a human being. All animals should go naked.
Yes, ribbons are definitely against the rules.
Rules?
Comrades, in order to make this new life of ours work, of course we need some basic rules. In the last week, after Old Major's speech, we pigs have worked out a complete new system to make this farm work without the interference of man.
Aren't they smart, those pigs? They're definitely the smartest animals on the farm.
Oh, are they? Really?
At the basis of this new system that we'll implement lies a complete new philosophy. We call it animalism. Inspired by the wisdom of Comrade Napoleon and Comrade Snowball, we have discussed this theory at length during several nights. We hardly slept during those nights. But we won't speak of that sacrifice on that. Fact is that after elaborate discussion, we were able to bring the principles of animalism down to these 7 commandments. Whatever goes upon 2 legs is an enemy. Whatever goes upon 4 legs or has wings is a friend. No animal shall wear clothes. No animal shall sleep in a bed. No animal shall drink alcohol. No animal shall kill any other animal. All animals are equal.
But what about Jones's house?
Who's going to live in that house?
No. The farmhouse will be a museum. No animal must ever live inside that house.
Boxer, since you are the biggest animal of us all, could you hang this new sign in front of the house, please? What's the matter, Kraus? Comrades, get some buckets and milk those cows. Don't worry about the milk and the eggs. That will all be taken care of. Now, there is work to be done. Go with Comrade Squealer to the fields. Off you go.
Come on, comrades, on to the fields. There's work to be done. Come on.
Beasts of England, beasts of Ireland, beasts of every land and clime, hearken to my joyful tidings of the golden future time.
How they toiled and sweated to get the hay. Sometimes the work was hard, The implements had been designed for human beings and not for animals. But the pigs could think of a way around every difficulty, and the horses understood the business of mowing and raking better than Jones had ever done. The pigs did not actually work, but directed and supervised, and every animal down to the humblest worked at turning the hay and gathering it. In the end, they finished the harvest in 2 days less time than it had usually taken Jones. Moreover, it was the biggest harvest that the farm had ever seen.
Boxer, you really are a hard worker. You work 5 times as hard as any other animal on this farm, and much harder than in Jones's time anyway.
One is right, Boxer. We could never have harvested so quickly if it wasn't for you.
I like working hard. Working is a pleasure to me.
Yes, but now it's Sunday, Boxer. You don't have to work. You can sleep in today.
Waste of time, that's what a Sunday is.
A waste of a brain. That's what you are, Box.
What did you say, Benjamin?
I didn't say anything, and nothing at all.
Ah, thank God tomorrow is Monday again. Cockerel! Cockerel! Where are you?
Yes, Boxer. What's up?
Tomorrow, wake me up 1 hour earlier than usual, will you? The field behind the trees needs to be plowed, and I would like to get a head start.
Okay, Boxer.
Thank you.
You know what I like about Sundays? The lessons the pigs give us in the afternoon. Learning to read and learning the 7 commandments.
Not that you're very good at it, Varlo.
True. That's why I take them. I want to become smarter.
Do you really think that school makes you any smarter? No. As long as you are enjoying it, why not?
Comrades, as we do every Sunday, we salute the green flag of Animal Farm. It is green to represent the green fields of England, while its hoof and horn signify the future republic of the animals, which will arise when the human race will finally be overthrown. Today, in the afternoon, there will be lessons again. It is important for every animal to get a decent education. Comrade Squealer here will see to the reading lessons, while I myself will get you better acquainted with the 7 commandments. We expect you all to be there. Now, comrades, let us sing our animal hymn one more time.
We don't need no woolly farmer. We don't need no whips and knives. No dark sarcasm in the stables. Farmer beavers feast alone. Hey! Farmer! Leave us be alone! All in all, we only want to live life in hope. All in all, we only want to live life in hope. We don't need no woolly farmer. We don't need no Hunger Games. No work for hours in the darkness. Father, leave us peace alone.
we dealt with the letters of the alphabet. Now, who can read these letters? Ah, sheep.
A.
What are you saying? Can't you see there is a difference between the letters so they can't be all A's?
Last week, I remembered the other letters too. I remember that. Oh, yes? What was it? I don't remember anymore. Maybe we could just start with A again. Good idea.
Oh, sheep, we can't keep on doing the same letters every time. We have done these letters dozens of times. Why can't you just learn more than the first letter?
That's because the first letter is very simple, but the other letters are extremely difficult. What was the first letter again? A, you silly A. Yes,
Never mind, you silly. Boxer. Can you read these letters?
A. C. A.
Oh, no.
Sorry, comrades. Did I make a mistake?
No, the last letter is a D, Boxer, not an A.
I'm really sorry, Comrade Squealer. You know I don't want to disappoint you, but you see, I've been working really hard last week. I didn't have time to study. I think work is more important than reading letters, and I'm happy enough just knowing 3 letters.
No, Boxer, working and reading are equally important.
Still, I think work is more important than reading letters. I can't help it.
Never mind. Clover. I gave you an assignment last week. Can you spell your name?
Yes. C. L. O. D. R.
No. That's not correct.
C. A.
No. Stop it. I give up. And God knows I've tried hard. And for this miserable teacher's pay, they can't expect me to do miracles. Snowball, you're not.
Comrades, you know how important the 7 commandments are. They form the basics of our success. Not just for us here at Animal Farm, but for the whole of England. Once the rule of man will be overthrown. We have gone over them several times before. Who can tell me a commandment? Comrades, there are 7 of them. Surely you must remember at least one. Yes, Molly.
I'm not sure, but it was something about ribbons. I couldn't wear them anymore, and it was because of the 7 commandments.
You are referring, Molly, to the 3rd commandment. No animal shall wear clothes. Ribbons are considered clothes, and therefore they are forbidden.
But couldn't you pigs perhaps reconsider this rule? We can think of another one if you want to keep a total of 7.
No.
Yes, like no animal should drive a car.
Oh, no animal shall be kept from his work.
All animals must attend Sunday classes.
No, comrades, no.
I propose a simple one. No animal should abide any commandment, especially when made by pigs.
Comrades, the 7 commandments were established after careful consideration. They're not open for debate. Altering even one letter will weaken our very existence. Repeat after me. Whatever goes upon 2 legs is an enemy.
Whatever goes above 2 legs is an enemy.
Very good. Whatever goes upon 4 legs or has wings is a friend.
Whatever goes above 4 legs or has wings is a friend.
Very good. Now, what was the first one again?
Damn it, no, I can't remember the first one anymore. Or the second one. Or any of them. They're so difficult. I'll never be able to remember them all. If only there weren't so many of them. Maybe if there were 4 or 5 of them. What are you saying? We can't even remember 2?
Well, maybe we can combine the 7 commandments into one basic principle. What is the very essence of the commandments?
Then I can't bear ribbons.
No, Molly! What it all comes down to is this. All animals are good, and all men are evil. How do we distinguish men from animals?
They look mean. They do silly things.
Comrades, we need more objective criteria than those. How many legs do animals have? Sheep.
Oh,
Very good, 4 legs. And how many legs do men have? Sheep.
2.
Yes, very good, 2 legs. So it's easy. 4 legs good, 2 legs bad. That would be a fair summary of the 7 commandments.
4 legs good, 2 legs bad. It does has a catchy rhythm. Yes, 4 legs good, 2 legs bad.
What about us chickens? We only have 2 legs. Are we bad?
No, of course not, birds. You've got wings. And wings, comrades, is an organ of propulsion and not one of manipulation. A wing should therefore be regarded as a leg. The distinguishing mark of man is the hand, the instrument with which he does all his evil. 4 legs good.
2 legs bad. 4 legs good, 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 2 legs bad. 4 legs.
Did you know what I saw?
Let me guess. You saw Jones again?
What? Is Jones back again?
No, don't panic. It's not Jones. It's the pigs.
What about the pigs?
I found out what happens to the milk.
I wouldn't mind some milk myself.
You won't get any. The pigs are keeping it all for themselves.
I'm sure they have a good explanation.
I don't see why we couldn't have some milk too.
Do you remember that we're supposed to gather all the apples that fell off the tree?
Yes, we have to bring them to the pigs as well.
They're eating them all themselves.
I'm sure we'll get our fair share later, as long as we do our work.
Comrades, there seems to be something going down at the bottom. The animals are acting weird.
Will. Okay, you go and check it out.
What's going on?
Well, if you don't mind me saying so, it seems that you pigs keep all the apples and the milk to yourself.
Comrades, you do not imagine, I hope, that we pigs are doing this in a spirit of selfishness and privilege. Many of us actually dislike milk and apples. I dislike them myself. Our sole object in taking these things is to preserve our health. We pigs are brain workers. The whole management and organization of the farm depend on us. Day and night, we're watching over your welfare. It is for your sake that we're drinking the milk and eating the apples. Do you know what would happen if we pigs fail our duty? Sure, no one of you wants to see Jones back.
Definitely not. Anything but Jones back on the farm.
So, comrades, eat your hay and have a good night's rest. Tomorrow is another working day, another day of labor to our glory.
I'll say what, sir, you were absolutely right.
About what?
They do have a good explanation, don't they?
Thank God tomorrow is Monday again. I'm going to have a good night's rest now.
Good idea. The longer I sleep, the more shiny my fur gets.
Seems like nobody's here.
I saw them working in the field as we flew in.
Not the face have you ever seen a fish
That's
work?
a good one. Listen, if you tell the others, you think you're going
going to believe us.
They didn't. Or maybe the end of Animal Farm.
That would be most tragic.
Well, well. If these aren't our faithful messengers, the pigeons.
Come on, the pony's got something
Tell me,
important.
have you been able to speak to the animals in the other farms?
Yes, we did, but we...
And are they excited?
They are, but there's something
And are they
else.
going to follow our example and kick their masters out?
Yes, but most of them are afraid that they...
Ah, they shouldn't be. Encourage them.
We really try, but would you listen?
Well, then try harder. Present Animal Farm as the example of the liberation of all animals.
But Animal Farm won't even last a day if you don't listen to us.
I beg your pardon?
What she means to say, Comrade Napoleon, is that we have very urgent and disturbing news to bring to you.
Huh?
Yes, Jones is on his way with some men determined to reclaim his farm.
Yes, and his arms.
Squealers, so-called, the pigeons here that they tell me that Jones is on his way and he's going to get the farm and he's armed, he has men
Napoleon, I was expecting this to happen sooner or later. Don't worry, I have prepared a defense. Squealer, go and get the animals from the field. Tell them to get ready for battle. We'll give Jones and his men a warm up.
He's dead. I killed him. I didn't mean to do that. I forgot I was wearing my iron shoes. You must believe me. I didn't do this on purpose, Comrade Squealer.
No sentimentality, Comrade. War is war. The only good human being is a dead human being.
But I don't want to take a life, not even a human's life.
Where is Molly? Has
Molly?
anyone seen Molly? I hope she's not hurt, or even worse.
Molly.
Is it all over? Molly, where were you? We've been so worried.
I was just
Comrade Snow! Comrade Snow is wounded! Thanks for having me won the battle.
Don't worry about me, comrades. It's just a small wound. I will be all right in a few moments. Don't worry about me. The most important thing is that we've chased Jones and his men away. And I'm sure that they'll think twice before coming again.
Comrades, we just fought one hell of a fight, and we won. I praise the courage of all the animals who fought this battle. But there are two animals whose bravery was exceptional and decisive for our victory. Comrade Snowball and Comrade Boxer, step to the front, please. Closer. I have decided to award you a new medal, Animal Hero First Class. Now, we shall remember this battle as the Battle of the Cowshed, because it was here where we had our victory. We shall commemorate this battle every year on this day. Let's never forget the courage of all the animals who fought this battle. Long live Animal Farm!
Long live Animal Farm! if I'm not mistaken, and I'm not often mistaken, I saw you let a human stroke your nose.
That's not true. There wasn't a human, and he was certainly not stroking my nose.
I even saw that he gave you a few lumps of sugar, and you ate them happily.
That's not true. He didn't give me any sugar lumps, and you know what? They didn't even taste that nice.
Look into my eyes, Molly, and say I'm telling lies. It's all a lie. Now I wonder, what would Boxer think of such behavior?
Clover, leave Boxer out of it.
Did you really think I would notice it, how you prance around Boxer, trying to get his attention?
What do you mean?
You know, Molly, Boxer and I, we go a long way back. Did you really think I would let you come in between us?
Well, I won't help it that he finds me more attractive, can I?
Boxer's a stallion, Molly. What do stallions know about love? Don't make a fool of yourself.
Maybe Boxer is smarter than you give him credit for.
I'll tell you more. If you're smarter than I give you credit for, you leave this farm at once.
Leave Animal Farm? Why on earth?
Because if I tell Boxer about you, and the man, and the sugar, how will he react?
Huh?
He will despise you, Molly. He will look at you and he will see a human's friend, a traitor. Disgust is all he will ever feel for you.
You won't tell him, will you?
Not if you leave this farm at once and never return. At least he will keep a decent memory of you.
How can you be so cruel?
Come now, Molly, don't make a fuss. It's your choice. Either you pack your things and go, or stay and become the shame of this farm.
Sitting there, working on his stupid plans.
He thinks it will work.
Well, he thinks too much, he does, Snowball. Always thinks he's such a smartass.
Well, he gets a lot of support of the other animals. He knows how to appeal to them with his elegant speeches.
I know, but I still have the support of the sheep, and the dogs are very loyal to me.
Animals who are too stupid to understand what Snowball is talking about. But I wouldn't worry if I were you, Napoleon. When it comes down to it, the animals will know well enough which side the bread is buttered on.
We'll see, we'll see.
Comrades, so far we have established a successful life here at Animal Farm. We don't need human intervention to make this farm work. Yet, when we return from a work in the fields, we find ourselves in a cold stable. Darkness prevents us from educating ourselves in the evenings. I propose to you, comrades, the solution that I have found to this problem. Electricity. We can easily produce our own electricity here at Animal Farm by building a windmill.
A windmill? Why not build a nuclear plant?
This project needs to be a very big burden upon us, comrades. If we all throw in a few extra hours, this windmill could be finished in less than a year. Imagine the comfort of heated stable floors. Imagine the blessings of light after dark. But most importantly, imagine the jealousy of the human race when they find out we can do as well, if not better than them.
Bullshit! Bullshit! This will only mean more work. Why complicate things?
On the contrary, Comrade Napoleon, if we can produce electricity, we can employ it to make our work light. Electrical tools will most definitely make our lives easier. It might even reduce our working week to only 3 days of work instead of 6 now.
Nonsense. The illusions of a dreamer. Why would we waste our valuable time on castles in the air?
I can assure you, comrades, that this windmill is going to change our lives entirely. The efforts we put into building it will be paid back tenfold. Hot water, electrical equipment, who knows in time, even computers! If you can dream it, we can realize it!
That this idea of building a windmill will divide us? I propose a vote. All who are in favor of building a windmill, raise a leg.
Nobody move! What hair? Singing our animal hymn and receiving the orders of the week. There will be no more debates, since they are unnecessary and unproductive. From now on, all decisions will be made by a special committee of pigs, which I will personally preside.
Comrades. I hope that every animal here appreciates the sacrifice that Comrade Napoleon has made in taking this extra labor upon himself. Do not imagine, comrades, that leadership is a pleasure. On the contrary, it is a very big and heavy responsibility. No one believes more firmly than Comrade Napoleon that all animals are equal. He would be only too happy to let you make your decisions yourselves. But sometimes, comrades, you might make the wrong decisions. Suppose you had decided to follow Snowball with his moonshine of windmills. Snowball, as we now know, was not better than a criminal.
But he fought bravely at the Battle of the Cowshed.
Bravery is not enough, comrade. Loyalty and obedience are more important.
And as to the Battle of the Cowshed, I think the time will come that we shall find that Snowball's part in it was much exaggerated. Discipline, comrades. Iron discipline, that's the watchword of today. One false step and our enemies would be upon us. You know what would happen if we fail our duty? Jump!
If Comrade Napoleon says it, it must be true. Comrade Napoleon is always right.
Right. Well, off you go.
Hello, friends. Is something the matter?
farm with its dogs.
Mean of they are, these dogs. Very mean dogs.
Well, I have some good news for you.
I can surely use some good news.
Have you ever heard of a place called Sugar Candy Mountain?
I think I heard my mother mention it long time ago. It's the place where all animals go when they die.
Only good animals. Animals who led a decent life and who cared for each other. Evil animals will never see the sights of Sugar Candy Mountain.
What kind of work do they do on this mountain?
No work at all. On Sugar Candy Mountain, all animals just rest. They're all happy and free.
We're free now too.
Are we?
Yes, of course, because we got rid of Jones.
Seems like a poor definition of freedom.
Well, on Sugar Candy Mountain, all animals are really free. It's Sunday, 7 days a week. Clover is in season all years round. Lump sugar and linseed cake grow on the hedges.
You're kidding me.
He's kidding you.
I'm not kidding you.
Well, I would say that you just self-talk, and nothing of what you say is true.
It's true enough if you really believe it.
Well, anyway, the pigs say that you just tell fairy tales, and you never do any work.
I don't have any time to work because it's my job to prepare you animals for Sugar Candy Mountain. I have the obligation to spread this good news.
Well, spread it all you like, but the pigs had better not see you here.
But they can't deny the truth. Out there, dear friends, just on the other side of that dark clouds, there it lies, Sugar Candy Mountain, that happy country where we poor animals shall rest forever from our labors.
Well, if there isn't any work to be done on this mountain, I better get on with my work down here on the farm.
You speak wise words, Buster. To reach Sugar Candy Mountain, you have to lead a good and productive life.
Isn't that something, Benjamin? Sugar and clover all year long.
I can't see the difference between the lies of our black friend here and the lies of the pigs. But if it makes you happy believing it, Merle, by all means.
Surely there are no lies. Are they, Moses?
I guarantee you that I speak the truth, Maria. Believe it, and you will see it when your life at this farm comes to an end.
If you don't want to see our Sugar Candy Mountain too soon, you better make yourself scarce now. It's squealers coming this way.
Comment! I've got some wonderful news!
Seems like good news day today.
Governor Napoleon wanted to officially announce it on a Sunday morning, but I'm too excited to keep it for myself.
Well, come on then.
Governor Napoleon has decided to build the windmill after all.
Wait, what? And only 3 weeks ago he was against it. He even expelled Snowball for it.
Building the windmill was Governor Napoleon's idea from the very beginning. It was Snowball the traitor who stole the plans and presented them as his own.
But why did he oppose to it in the first place?
That was very cunning of Governor Napoleon. That was tactics, comrades. Tactics. Governor Napoleon had pretended to be against the windmill to get rid of the traitor Snowball.
That explains it. How awful of Snowball. Good that we got rid of that sort. I never liked Snowball anyway.
Say, Squealer, do you have the plans of Napoleon?
Yeah, I've got them right there. Come on.
What are we waiting for? Let's get to work!
Yeah.
Comrades, I know you have been working very hard for more than a year, but what an achievement. I'm very proud of all of you.
Why isn't the windmill working then?
To be useful, the windmill needs to be equipped with machines. Machines that will produce electricity.
But how are we going to make these machines? We're animals, not engineers.
You're right there, Comrade Clover. That's why I have decided to trade some of our products to raise the money to buy the machinery for the windmill. I'm going to put all the money that we make into this box, so you could all see the fruits of our hard labor. Now, Comrade Squealer here will explain the details to you, while I go inside and call Mr. Whimper, who will be our contact person with the human world.
What are they going to sell? We're only producing enough to survive ourselves.
I understand that we're asking a small sacrifice from all of you. But for ourselves, we are going to sell some of our hay and grain, and I'm sure if the need arises, the hens wouldn't mind to lay more eggs. For ourselves, comrades, we will slightly reduce our rations of food. A small sacrifice, comrades, for the completion of the windmill, and ultimately the glory of Animal Farm.
Wait a minute. Didn't we agree, after we kicked out Jones, that we would never engage in trade? I distinctly remember something like that, Squealer.
Now that you mention it, Boxer, I seem to recall that too.
No, that's where you are mistaken, comrades horses. But I understand it's an easy mistake. But who exactly was it who wanted the forbidden trade?
I think it was Snowball, Squealer. Yes, it was Snowball.
It was Snowball! And do we not know about now that Snowball's betraying Animal Farm? In fact, he has been doing it from the very beginning.
I find that hard to believe. Comrade Snowball fought very bravely at the Battle of the Cowshed.
That was just show to mislead us. Comrade Napoleon has stated for a fact that Snowball was in league with Jones from the start.
Then it must be true. Comrade Napoleon is always right.
Don't you see, comrades, how devious Snowball was, misleading you all?
How could we be such fools?
Yes, I wonder. And how can you still be such fools?
Don't you see, comrades, how lucky we are with the leadership of Comrade Napoleon? In fact, it would be more appropriate to address him as leader, for that is what he really is. A great leader to whom we owe all our success.
Long live Animal Farm.
Oh.
And long live Napoleon!
Yes, long live Napoleon! Long live Napoleon! I know that cutting back on our rations of food is hard on all of you. But to overcome this difficulty, we will just work harder and eat less. That will make us truly happy.
Okay, I will work harder.
On to the fields, comrades. There is work to be done. Come on. Off you go. Come on, Boxer. Come on, Boxer.
Hello there, Whimper. How the market is going? Done some decent business?
I sure did. We have an excellent quality of grain and hay. And I got a good price for them, too. Here you are. I'm sure that if you can deliver more, that we can improve business. Oh, and eggs. There's a huge demand for eggs these days.
I guess that won't be too difficult to arrange. Next delivery at the end of the week. Is that okay, Whimper?
Ah, perfect, Napoleon. Pleasure doing business with you.
Likewise, Mr. Whimper. Likewise. They work all night, they work all day to pay the bills I have to pay. Aren't they sad? But I'll make sure that there will be enough provisions left for me. Not too bad. In my dreams, I have a plan to become a wealthy man. I definitely don't work at all. I fool around and have a ball. Money, 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 must be funny in the rich pig's world. Money, 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 always sunny in the rich pig's world. All the things I could do if I had a pile of money. It's a rich pig's world. It's a rich pig's world.
Hey, Clover! Did you see that?
See what?
Napoleon went into Jones's house.
So what?
Haven't you noticed the pigs are in that house a lot?
They don't even leave the house. They stay inside.
You see, Boxer, the fatter the pig, the more comfortable his bed.
What? Do the pigs sleep in beds these days?
Sleeping in beds is definitely against the rules.
No comment? It is not.
Well, I'm sure I remember it correctly. Muriel, can you read the commandment, please?
No animal shall sleep in a bed with sheets.
You see? A bed merely means a place to sleep in. A pile of straw in a stable is a bed properly regarded. The rule was against sheets, which are a human invention. We have removed the sheets from the beds, and very comfortable beds they are too. And that's not too comfortable, I can tell you, with all the brain work we have to do nowadays.
But I thought we would use the house as a museum and not to live in.
That's another of those malicious ideas that Snowball has put into your heads. There is, of course, no written rule against living in a house. Read the 7 Commandments. Not a word about being forbidden to live in a house. Don't you see how devious Snowball was? There are dogs. It's absolutely necessary that we pigs should have a quiet place to work in. We are the brains of the farm. It's also more suited for the dignity of the leader to live in a house than in a stable. You would not deprive us from our rest, would you, comrades? You would not have us too tired to carry out our duties, would you? You sure? No, you want to sit down, right?
Comrade Napoleon says it must be right. I will work harder.
Well, you have worked hard enough today. Go to your stables and have a good night's rest. You have deserved it.
steal a windmill? Where is it then? Yesterday it was right here. It's all around us. Are we inside the windmill? No, you stupid. Look at all the pieces around us. Are all those pieces of the windmill? Well, yes. It was destroyed last night. Destroyed? But how? Didn't you hear the storm during the night? A very violent storm it was. No. I've always been a good sleeper. I thought it was stronger, that windmill. Yes, maybe Napoleon's plans weren't that good.
They were good, all right. Nothing wrong with the plans. That windmill was designed to withstand a tornado.
Then how did it get destroyed?
It was Snowball. Yes, comrades. Last night, Snowball was on our farm, and he destroyed the windmill.
What a vicious act. How could he be so devious?
To avenge himself for his expulsion, this traitor crept under cover of night, and he destroyed the work of nearly a year. Comrades, here and now, I pronounce the death sentence upon Snowball. Half a bucket of apples to anyone who brings him to justice. A full bucket to anyone who captures him alive.
I am not surprised. A few weeks ago, there was a window broken in the stable. That must have been Snowball too.
Yes, and the day before yesterday, the key to the store shed was stolen. Snowball had taken it in the night.
But we found that key yesterday under a sack of grain.
Snowball had hidden it to deceive us.
Snowball's bad.
4 legs good, 2 legs bad. 4 legs good, 2 legs.
Snowball had 4 legs too, in case you have forgotten.
Snowball's bad anyway.
Say, Squealer, what are we to do now?
We'll show the traitor that he cannot beat us so easily. We will rebuild the windmill and make the walls twice as thick.
Rebuilding the windmill, now that our rations have been diminished and we already work extra hours. I don't think that I have the energy.
We'll show that miserable traitor that he cannot undo our plans so easily, Muriel. Just think about that, and you will get new energy.
But shouldn't we bring in the harvest first? If we don't do it now, we might fall short of food in winter.
No. The windmill comes first. We'll deal with the harvest later.
But by then it may be too
But
late.
trust the leadership of our leader Napoleon. The windmill comes first.
Yeah. If Comrade Napoleon said it, it must be right. I will work harder.
You speak wise words, Boxer. Let's all get down to it, shall we? Come on.
On the radio there's a little hand. build a windmill.
It makes no sense. Why does Napoleon waste his energy on this?
Napoleon is getting old.
Yes, he's losing it.
He's not interested in the farm. He's only interested in money and power.
True. I think we need a more effective management on this farm.
I agree. You know what? Let's write a manifesto.
Good idea. Let's get down to it.
I'm hungry.
And I'm tired.
I don't know if I'm more tired or hungry.
And I don't know if I'm more hungry or more tired.
That's the same.
It is not.
It is two.
Not.
Two.
Sheep, please. I already have a headache as it is.
But they're right. I'm hungry every day, and we work so hard I can hardly feel my hooves at the end of the day.
I heard say that we're falling short on supplies. That's why we have so little rations.
How are we going to make it until summer then?
They should have listened to me while we were rebuilding this windmill. The crops were rotting away in the fields.
But still we have a beautiful windmill now.
A useless windmill. We still don't have the machinery for it.
Clover's right. You can't eat a windmill, and I'm hungry.
Comrades, our leader Napoleon has a solution to our problems.
I bet it won't be sharing his food with us.
As of tomorrow, we want you chickens to lay a double amount of eggs and hand them over to us. Selling these eggs should be enough to buy hay and grain to make it until summer.
What? Hand over our eggs? That's murder? If we don't show our eggs, there will soon be no chickens anymore on this farm. I refuse. I'd rather destroy the eggs that I lay than to hand them over to be sold. We're starting a strike. No eggs for sale. No eggs for sale. No eggs for sale.
Well, and in that case, I'm sorry to say, but you won't get any food until you hand over all your eggs.
You keep saying that we should be lame. 1,000 eggs for you to take away. But you've been messing where you shouldn't have been messing. 'Cause we'll destroy just all the eggs we lay. The hens are made for laying, and that's just what we'll do. 'Cause none of these eggs that we will lay shall ever be sold to you. Are you ready, girls? Start laying!
We've been on this strike for 5 days now. I don't eat bread. I will die. I'm coming to the point that I stop caring what they will do with our eggs. Let them have our eggs. I need food. Squealer will surrender our eggs.
Comrades, on this Sunday gathering, I want you all to witness what you are about to see. And bear in mind, no betrayal will be tolerated on Animal Farm. plotted to destroy the windmill a second time?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, we did. But please.
We didn't mean any harm.
And who put you up to this evil?
I don't know.
Wasn't it Snowball?
Snowball? Yes, it was Snowball.
But we didn't mean any harm.
You were in league with Snowball and you didn't mean any harm? How dare you?
Please spare us, Napoleon.
Take them away and kill them! Silence! I hope that this will teach all of you a lesson. Nobody will defy Animal Farm or its leader.
What was that all about? I don't know. It was horrible.
I agree, comrades. This was a horrible event. But do not think for one moment that our leader enjoyed doing this. He was forced to act the way he did.
Forced? How so?
Forced by the betrayal of those two porters. If we would have allowed Animal Farm be weakened by those porters, Animal Farm would be seriously weakened in its existence.
But I thought one of the commandments said, no animal shall kill another animal.
Now, Clover, I think you remember that commandment wrongly.
No, I'm sure I remember it correctly. Muriel, can you read the commandment, please?
No animal shall kill any other animal without reason.
You see? And didn't Napoleon have very good reason to do away with those traitors? You realize what would happen if we would have allowed Animal Farm being weakened by traitors? Jones would come back! Surely no one of you wants to see Jones back.
If Animal Farm should weaken, it must be due to some fault in ourselves. The solution, as I see it, is to work harder.
That's a good idea.
I will really get up 1 hour earlier in the morning.
Very good idea,
Napoleon is always right.
Yes, very good idea. I think that this would be the best way to settle down after this awkward experience.
But it's Sunday today. Oh.
Yes, I'm afraid to tell that from now on, Sundays will be working days too. If this farm wants to produce enough to buy the machinery for the windmill.
And what about Sunday gatherings?
They will still be held in the mornings to issue the orders of the week. But don't worry, we'll keep them as brief as possible so that there will be enough productive time there. Now off you go. Off you go.
Napoleon!
Yeah?
Look what I found!
More money? Bring it on, Squealer!
That's almost as good.
What's that? Is that whiskey? I've never tasted that.
There is more where this came from.
Where did you find it?
In the cellar. Jones has tucked away a few crates. It's very nice old whiskey.
Well, this one won't get much older, I can assure you.
No. Go easy on that stuff. I heard say that it might hit you hard later.
Nothing can hit me hard. I'm Napoleon. I'm the strong leader.
Yes, but that whiskey's pretty strong too, you know.
The stronger, the better, Squealer. Let's celebrate.
What shall we celebrate? The building of the windmill? The success of Animal Farm?
The success of Animal Farm? What exactly is the success of Animal Farm, Squealer?
That we've been managing well without Jones.
Oh, better, Squealer. We've managed way better than Jones. Or should I say, I manage better.
I'm sure you do, Napoleon.
I mean, has Jones ever made the amounts of money that I've been making? Huh?
Of course not. Jones was pathetic.
Pathetic. That's the right word. Everybody is so pathetic. I mean, look at those miserable creatures working their asses off.
Don't raise your voice, they might hear us.
And what if they did? I mean, you will always find a way to set them down.
You can always count on me, Napoleon.
I'd better, Squealer, or else I'd be done with you.
Whatever you say, Napoleon.
You know, Squealer, what I am?
No, what are you?
I am fantastic! So fantastic! So fantastic! I am so fantastic, you are so fantastic! We're both fantastic! So fantastic! I'm so fantastic, you're so fantastic! We are both fantastic!
Did you see that?
See what?
Napoleon and Squealer were drinking whiskey.
Such a big deal.
Of course, drinking alcohol is forbidden in the commandments.
I'm starting to think that those commandments aren't too important anymore.
Nonsense! Muriel, can you read the commandment, please?
No animal shall kill. Sorry. No animal shall drink alcohol to excess.
Oh, then there's no problem.
Oh, Napoleon certainly didn't drink to excess.
Governor! I've got some terrible news! I think that our leader Napoleon is dying.
How? What happened?
Maybe he's having a heart attack.
Cancer?
He might have a brain tumor.
Because of all that thinking he's doing for us.
Maybe Snowball has poisoned him.
Or likely, he poisoned himself.
What do you mean Benjamin poisoned himself?
Just let him sleep it off, Squealer. He'll be all right in the morning.
How can you be so sure?
No one ever died from a hangover.
There's only one thing we can do.
What's that?
Work harder. That will definitely cheer Comrade Napoleon up.
Boxer's right, comrade. Go to the fields and do your work. I will attend to comrade leader Napoleon.
It was a bitter winter. In January, food fell short. The corn ration was drastically reduced, and starvation seemed to stare them in the face.
Are you alright, Boxer?
I'm all right. Why do you ask?
You look a little pale.
I'm just a bit tired, that's all.
Whatever you say, Boxer. Boxer! Benjamin, support him! Squealer! Squealer!
What happened? Did anybody die?
No, but Boxer fainted. There's something seriously wrong with him.
Well, Boxer's old, Manuel. Perhaps he shouldn't work anymore.
Wait a second. I've got a little problem here on the farm.
What's going to happen to Boxer?
I've got an old horse. It's too old to work. No use at the farm anymore. Do you have any suggestions?
We'll take him to the hospital to get better. After that, he can retire.
Well, I'm sure Alfred Simmons, the horse slaughterer, will give a fair price for an old horse. I hear he makes excellent dog food out of old horses.
And when he's better, we'll give him a special spot in the shade in the big meadow. He will never have to work again.
So that's settled then. At least something good comes out of this. Are you going to take him right away?
Are you sure he's going to be alright?
Yeah, we should get this up.
He'll be taken to the hospital and they will take good care of him. Our leader Napoleon has stated that he will spare no expense to get our best worker cured again. There's a gentleman who will take you to the hospital, Boxer. Can you stand on your feet?
I don't know.
Come on. Come on, Boxer.
Come on, time is money.
Come on.
Before I go, I want to say goodbye to my sweet Clover.
Well, she's working on the field at the far end of the farm. She can't come, But don't worry. You'll be better in no time. And when you return, you'll see as much of Clover as you like.
Boxer, where are you going?
Don't worry, Clover. Boxer fainted, but they're taking him to hospital. He's coming back after he's recovered.
I don't think that's quite accurate, Mario.
What do you mean?
I happened to overhear the conversation between Napoleon and Mr. Wimper, the man who took Boxer away.
But Squealer said that Napoleon would spare no expense for Boxer's recovery.
I'm sorry to bring this bad news to you, Clover, but you won't see Boxer again. They're going to kill him. They're taking him to the necker.
What? What are you saying?
But don't despair, because Boxer will be at Sugar Candy Mountains. That happy country where clover is in season all years round and lump sugar grows at the hedges.
But that's so unfair. My sweet Boxer.
Who do they think they are, those pigs? Why can't they decide everything on this farm? What makes them any better than us?
They're not. It's in the 7 Commandments. All animals are equal.
Are you sure about that? Because I can't see too much equality here.
Only friends.